So you want to select this. There's 100 different ways to do it. Here's the most professional way. You go into channels and you look at each channel individually. Here's the red channel. See, there's a lot of gray and a lot of white, and the grays are kind of similar. You want difference, so it's easier to select. Green, it got a little darker. See that? But then look at the blue. The blue got really dark. So the blue channel is the one we want to work in. What we're going to do is copy the blue channel because we don't want to mess that up. And then we'll call that, it was called blue copy, but whatevs. And then what we want to do is we want to make this darker, and what we want selected to be dark and what we want not selected to be white, and get rid of these shadows. So we want to control the levels in this and darken. So we push Command L to go to levels. And then down here, then we're going to just fuck around with it until we get it darker and lighter, which to me brings the darkness thing in more towards the middle and the white thing more towards the middle. See in here, got a little problems with selecting that. We'll have to go back through and maybe select that by hand. Moving the gray slider now, and the black. We're gonna have to do some by hand, but we're just making it easier so we don't have to do as much by hand. And that's kind of close, okay. So because this is a channel, we can mess this up all we want. There's ways you can come back in here and burn this using the burn tool. And you go up here and you want to select, probably midtones. But then, it's not that big deal. I'm just going to paint it black. So I'm going to go here and select black as my color. And 100% opacity with a hard brush. I'm just going to come in here and paint this black. Try to get your edges exactly here. It's a little gray up there I'm going to get. So it goes like this. Oops, that was a bad one. Hopefully someday you'll have Photoshop and this will be meaningful to you. Make my brush smaller, zoom in closer. So here's another thing I do. I see this line right here, and I click it once to set a point, and then I hold Shift and I follow the lines so that the side of the thing paints it in. In a straight line, and then I don't have to think about it too much. Curves, you just have to click more often. Just click once, hold down Shift, and it makes a straight line. Straight line from the last point where you clicked. Just Smaller brush. The reason why I'm doing this too is I want you to realize, oh shit, I want you to realize the work I put into this, so I'm gonna guess there. It could be fat brush. With a right bracket, small brush with a left bracket. It's not very exciting. So the black will be the stuff that's selected. No, white is probably what you selected, but whatever, you can Control Shift I and then it inverses the selection. How perfect you are depends on what the final use is too. I know your final use isn't that important right now, but someday I'll save the file so that we can use it later. So I can't see what this is right here, so I'm gonna go back over to the, oh, see, it's part of the handle, so this too. I have to get this a little bit. Oops. I want to work on this copy action here. Whoops. Switch back to black. There's some more in the handle right here that didn't get done. So I switched to X because I want to paint white here and get rid of this stuff. This red, that's the shadow. Holding the shift and click in. Make my brush bigger. See, there's some red right here in this line. Just free balling this one. Making it smaller with left bracket. See, here's a whole shadow down here underneath, but I think I'm gonna leave that because I'll make it straight here, but because that kind of looks cool, I think, for your thing anyway. So I'm just gonna leave the shadow here. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit so it doesn't look so. I don't know. This one's got to go right here in the handle. Shift, shift, shift click. Brush smaller, zoom in, Command plus. Go back and forth between black and white with X. X is switch colors. X to get back to white and take off some of this stuff right here. Command minus to zoom out. There we have pretty good selection. So that is channel number 6. So we do control, command option 6, and that loads that channel. But now let's go back to RGB and layers. Get out of this mode. Look at the mode things. Why is it doing that? Oh, because this channel's still here. Okay. Take off that. So watch command option 6. You see it loads it? It loads the opposite of it. So you have to do command shift I to invert the selection. And there you go. That's the inverse of the selection. Then we're going to make a new layer. Well, we're going to copy this first. So copy this, Control C, Control V, plants it on a new, make a new layer, Command V, plants that on a new layer. So there it is on its own layer. And then what we can do is just copy this one, or we can load the channel. We'll do load the channel because that'll be more handy for you later on. So that's remember that was 6. So command option 6 loads that channel. Command inverse. Command I to invert the selection. That didn't do it. Control command shift inverse to change to the opposite. Make a new layer. Put that below this one. And then we're gonna come up here to the color. We're gonna find the middle gray, and then I go up between the middle and the middle gray and white, and then that gives you about this gray right here. And I'm gonna fill that with the gray. So that's command backspace or command delete. Nope. That gets the background. It's option delete. Option delete fills it with the foreground color. Command delete fills it with the background color. And here it is filled in with that. See that? Okay, we don't need the selection anymore, so I'm going to Control D to delete the selection. And then I have the gray behind it. You can't see it, but I have that layer selected. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Filter, Distort. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to Image, Edit, Transform, Distort. I'm going to bring this corner down to about here. I'm going to bring this corner down so it's at the same level as that one, but I'm going to sit at the same angle as this one. And I'm going to move the whole thing up. Up a bit and over. I can bring this corner in. Give it a little bit. You can kind of fuck around with it to what you want. And then select this. So it's okay. And then I'm going to go on this, I'm going to go Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. I'm going to do it at 21. And so you can see how good it is. You're going to, how good the thing is. You're going to go to your background layer. Oh, you have to select this, okay. Okay, in the blur. Then you go to let's add a new layer. And you're gonna fill that with white, which is the background color, and that's Command Backspace. And that's kind of what it looks like right there. Command minus. Let me blur it. It still looks a little bright for me. Let's try different transparencies. Try overlay. Nope. Try multiply. We'll leave it at that. And then that's it. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Then there's a whole file saving too. Here, I'll show you that too. What the hell? So this is a working file to me. So I go File, Save As, and I go to Recent Ones, Sculptures, and this is a working file. So I'll go here to Working, and this is B, so Photoshop as a copy. Save. Okay. And then that's first. So I have my working copy of it. If in case I need to go back through and change or something, like you don't like the shadow and I want to change it. Then I save another copy for print. So I go File, Save As. And I go to my print folder and save this as a JPEG. Save. Okay. Then I can quit this and I don't need it. So I want this to be the original JPEG, so I don't save my work I did on it because I already saved it in a new file. The end.